Okay, fellas, we are live from what I can see. I see us on YouTube, so we should be good to go there. I've got 22 in the waiting room, which is probably some of the folks we want to let in. So, Joaquin, where do I make you a
co-host? Go to participants, and then next to my name, there'll be a.
Gotcha. Okay, hang on a second. All right, sorry about that. Okay, you said participants, and then next to your name.
There should be a drop down on the right-hand side, and then make co-host.
Huh, I've got, okay, participants in the meeting.
Highlight over the camera, and it should give you more.
Huh. Make co-host. Yes. All right, Joaquin, you should be a co-host now. Do you see that?
Sure do. Thank you.
Okay, great. I'll message everyone that's waiting.
I'm going to let in our kiddos as we wait for our guests, okay?
Sounds good. Welcome, everyone. Might be just a couple more minutes as we wait for Mr. Smoot to get on here, but thank you guys for all coming. And we'll get started as soon as he gets in here.
Thank you, Mr. Peters. Thanks, everybody. Hey, y'all. So once we get started, Coach Peters is going to lead the group. And if you have any questions, just put your name in the chat and we'll unmute you, okay? Thank you so much for being here, everybody.
And we'll do those questions after Mr. Smoot's probably going to talk for 5-10 minutes, something like that, and then we'll have the opportunity for those questions.
Mr. Clark, if you can check that waiting room, or Mr. Stevenson, they might be in the waiting room, they said.
I'm not seeing them in there. Are you, Joaquin?
No, they're not in there yet. They'll probably be there in a few seconds if they log in.
And just so that everyone does know, we are live on YouTube. I've got a link up on the athletics page, so Kendall knows that. And then we've got a few people watching on YouTube as well. So,
Mr. Peters, if you want to reach out to the contact real quick, just to kind of guide him through.
David Wolf is in the house.
How you guys doing?
Hey, David, welcome.
Going on right here. We'll get set up and all that.
Hey, what's up?
Welcome.
Welcome. Just let us know when you're ready, and then we'll go ahead and get started.
Okay, I'm about to get all set up.
Cool.
A second.
You want to do gallery view so you can see everyone at once,
No, that's okay.
or just look fine?
Good.
Yeah, I'll turn the volume up a little bit.
Hey, Brett, do you want to make do you want to make them the highlighted? So when you go to view, do you want to make them the highlighted? Whoever is speaking is highlighted. I can do that real quick.
I tried to
Yeah,
do it,
sure,
but I
sure.
don't think I did.
Oh, man. All right, I think I'm ready. All right. All right, I'm ready whenever you guys are.
Cool. Then we'll go ahead and get started. I'm just going to welcome everyone. So first, I'd like to thank everyone for coming. That means all our students from Maine East, as well as Mr. Smoot. I think this is just a great opportunity for everyone here. Please remember Maine East students to be respectful, responsible, and ready. And we'll have a good time. So without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to our athletic director, Kendall Griffin.
Hold on, let me get my light turned on back now. They're just turning it off on me. But everyone, I just want to welcome everybody. It is amazing and great to see all of your faces and see so many of our Blue Demon Nation students in the house. I know many of you have not got an opportunity to meet me yet this year. Some may have. I look forward to when we can all get back here and have you back in our building, see you around our athletic events, and have me be at those events with you and cheering you on. But today really is about an opportunity that I really see a lot of athletes across our country taking on the responsibility of reaching out and giving their time to speak to the students of today. All of us are going through this COVID situation and having to deal with the difficulties of not having sports or not having sports the way we might currently want them. And Mr. Smoot has gone through that in his pursuits in the NFL, and they've worked their way and worked their butt off to make sure that they could get to work every day, go out and do the things that they love, continue to work hard at doing that, despite all the different challenges. And we too have gone through that. We went through that here in the fall. We made sports happen for a lot of our student athletes, and those that wanted to take part in that did. And I think I want to commend not only our student athletes, but our coaches, our parents, our administration for making that possible this year. And, you know, having Mr. Smoot here, I think is a great opportunity for us to really take an opportunity to listen to someone that has really made it to the pinnacle of their profession. And hopefully he'll talk a lot about what it took to get there, the type of commitment, the type of perseverance, the type of leadership, and really all those things that it takes to really get there, because you can. And finally, I think a lot, and what I really think about is that for our students, no matter what happens to you in life, the challenges that you may face, you need to continue to work hard at your dreams, work hard at those goals, do something each and every day to get to that level, because it is possible. I'm sure at some point, someone told Mr. Smoot it wasn't possible ever to get to the NFL. And what did he do? He continued to persevere and put the work in each and every day. And I'm sure it wasn't easy, but he got there. And so hopefully one of the things that you take from today's message that Mr. Smoot gives to you is that we want you to keep working each and every day. It's going to be a challenge. It's going to be hard. It's not going to be easy. But if you keep putting one foot in front of the other, you can get there with perseverance, with dedication, and with the types of energy that you need in order to make your dreams come true. So Mr. Smoot, to you, thank you for being here for Blue Demon Nation. On behalf of Maine East High School, its athletic department, our coaches, our staff, and our administration, we welcome you, and our students are welcoming you here and look forward to listening to your story. So thank you very much.
So before we turn it over, I just want to tell you a little bit about Dawuane Smoot. Dawuane Smoot has played 4 years in the NFL with the Jacksonville Jaguars and totaled 61 tackles, 11 and a half sacks, and 2 forced fumbles. He was drafted in the 3rd round, 68th overall in the 2017 draft after playing 4 seasons Ready? At the University of Illinois. He's one of ours, everybody, where he is tied for 6th in Illinois history with 38.5 tackles for loss and 16.5 sacks. He is active in the Jacksonville community and has worked with kids from the Jacksonville Arts and Music School, as well as other community visits where he has expressed his passion for learning and technology. Dawuane is originally from Groveport, Ohio, and lives in Jacksonville with his wife, Amari, and his son, Amir. Okay, the show is yours. Thank you again for being here with us. Dawuane, take it away.
Thank you for the introduction. And I want to say thank you guys for having me. I'm not going to take too much of you guys' time. I know you guys got a lot of stuff to do. You guys are at home and stuff. But I just want to touch on a couple of things that Kendall was talking about perseverance and, you know, just striving to get to your goal no matter what, and not really taking no for an answer. And I feel like that's what I've had to deal with along my way. I was just started off with coming from Groveport, Ohio. I came from a school that we didn't win a lot. We didn't really have a lot of people that really had a chance to really go to the second level. And I was fortunate enough after going through that those trying times, being able to get that opportunity. I came right after, you might have heard this name, Le'Veon Bell. Me and him actually came from the same school, and he kind of paved that way for us to be able to kind of have a little bit of recruitment going on in Groveport. But after he was able to go to Michigan State, ball out a little bit, and I was able to end up going and following his steps in the Big Ten and going to Illinois. I didn't have any crazy offers or anything like that. I was a 2-star athlete coming out. I had the stats, but I couldn't get the I guess I would say the eyes on me. I didn't have as much offers. So I kind of had to work from the bottom. I came out as a 2-star, like I said, and I went to Illinois. Started out as a 4th-stringer. I thought I was going to be able to come in and play a lot, and I was humbled. You know, they kind of just told me you have to sit down and learn behind all these guys, and I just sat back and I had to learn. I had to kind of just learn from all the guys in front of me and just work as hard as I could, and that's what I just strive to do. I would say my first 2 years were my most trying. I played, but I didn't play at all. Like, I didn't really have an opportunity to really make a lot of plays. Like, I probably was out there about 2 plays a game and really didn't have a lot of opportunities. But I ended up getting my opportunity in my 3rd year, and I took advantage of that. I worked as hard as I can my first 2 years. I was always on time when it came to class. I was always on time when it came to the weight room. I was just working as hard as I could and just kept my head down and was like, I don't know what's in front of me, but I'm going to work as hard as I can in the situation that I have right now. So that's what I did. I ended up coming out, I believe, with about 8 sacks, about 40 tackles, and about 15 TFLs my junior year. And I was thinking about leaving. I was thinking about leaving and going to the NFL, but I ended up staying back. I love Illinois. I felt like I wanted to give them one more winning season, try to do something there. And so I ended up staying. I ended up having a great senior campaign as well. And I was lucky enough to be selected in the 3rd round of the NFL draft. And I would say I faced a lot of the same things when I went into the NFL as well. I was humbled. I mean, me thinking I'm like a third round pick. I'm like, okay, I should get some good time. Nope. I ended up sitting behind Calais Campbell, Yannick Ngakoue, Malik Jackson, all those all-pro guys. I had no other choice but to just sit back and learn. And, you know, that was really humbling as well. I had to sit, you know, had to learn all the different things that I kind of took to be an NFL athlete. And because in college it's way different than the NFL, way different. The speed, everyone's just as good as you think. I mean, as you see on the TV, they're professionals for that reason. So my first couple of years, I really didn't touch the field, really didn't have an opportunity. So what I did, I just looked at every single year, was like, well, I'm bad at this, I'm good at this. What are the things I need to work on? And that's what I just worked on. I worked on my speed, worked on my power, worked on lifting every single day. And I just worked as hard as I could. I found like a local trainer here in Jacksonville, and I just worked, like, period. I think I broadcasted a lot of that on my social media. You guys can check that out as well. But I just worked as hard as I could. I got bigger, I got stronger, I got faster. And next thing you know, my third year comes along again. It's something about that third year. It does wonders for me. And I played well, had about 6 sacks this past year, a couple TFLs, and I was creating a name for myself. And leading up to this year, another humbling thing. Josh Allen came in the year before, killed it. I'm like, oh yeah, like I'm gonna be right beside him. Nope. Yeah, we ended up getting another first rounder. So I had to take a step back and kind of bring in some of the younger guys and give him his opportunity. And luckily, I was able to get a little bit of time this year. I ended up getting another 5.5 sacks this past year. Ended up being the leader on this defense as well. So, hey, I would just say, kind of piggybacking what I said earlier. Just work as hard as you can, no matter what situation you end up starting in. Work as hard as you can. Don't let anybody tell you no. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't make it. Because at the end of the day, if you put the work in and you believe it, and you feel like you're going to make it, you're going to make it. Like your mindset is a lot stronger than you actually think, and no one can stop you from achieving your dreams. But yeah, that's all I really have to say. Thank you guys for having me. Yeah.
All right, great. We'd like to open it up now for some of our students to ask you some questions, if you don't mind.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we can open up for questions.
Cool. So if any of you students want to put your name in the chat, we'll give you an opportunity. If not, like a couple students emailed me questions who weren't able to be here. Good, great. We have a bunch. So Brett or Joaquin, if we could unmute Kai, we'll start with him.
Thank you, Kai. Let me find you real quick.
So it's Katajan Lawrence. So it's like Kajetan. He goes by Kai though.
Well, Mr. Stevenson, while you're looking for Kai,
I got it. Yeah, go ahead, Kai.
Okay.
Was there a point in like whether it's high school, college, or even like professional, like where you're like ready to like quit, like ready to give up?
I would say like just recently, a couple of years ago, when my first couple of years into the league, I definitely was contemplating not giving up, but it was definitely some trying times where I was thinking like, it's football for me. Not only like when you're on this pro level, like you're kind of like, I'm pretty sure you guys have heard this, like you're on a microscope, like people watch every single thing that you do. And even if you don't perform, they're like, why is this guy even in the NFL? Should we go get another guy? Like, is he going to perform? He's going to do this. So listening to that, plus also being down on my performance, like it was tough. But like all I did, like I said, I just put my head down, was like, I'm not going to worry about any of those things. I'm just going to let those things just kind of just go to the wayside, and I'm gonna just work as hard as I can. And I was lucky enough to be able to find some people that was able to invest in me, like my trainer. I end up working with him for free, which is very rare when it comes to pro athletes. I just went to him and was like, hey, will you just put everything into me, like put all your energy into me, and I promise you I'm gonna work as hard as I can. I'm gonna come here every day, and we're gonna make something happen. And we've created an unbelievable relationship, and we've created an unbelievable career for me as well. So I would just say, just work as hard as you can, man. Like it's going to be times where it's tough, and everything looks bleak, but you'll work through it.
Thank you so much, Mr. Smoot. Students, I'm going to say your name. You can unmute yourselves. So we just changed the setting. So next person, so I'll say your name first, Rayhan, and then Isaac, and then Mr. Griffin. Go ahead, Rayhan. Mr. Griffin, go ahead and go. And then we'll go to Isaac.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So first, Mr. Smoot, one of the first things I think as I was listening to your story, and thank you for sharing that, takes me back to some of my own days, but going through college and trying to get to where you got to. That didn't happen for me, but I remember those days. But the first thing that came to my mind when I thought about it was what allowed you to stick to it and keep pushing and striving towards your goals when you were going through those those times when you talked about not being really successful and not coming from programs that maybe had a lot of winning. What was it that allowed you to keep pushing and keep striving and keep believing that it was possible to get to the Division I level and even beyond Division I into the pros? Can you talk a little bit about what was it that you used, or what place did you go to, and mentally to keep pushing for that and striving for that goal? And then I've got one follow-up question.
I would say when it comes to like a place, I feel like I went to a really dark place. I had to bring that darkness and bring it to light. Like for me, I know going in up until my pro season, I'll talk about my other motivation I had when I'm in the pros now. But earlier in my years, I say I was all about being the underdog, knowing that people are going to look down on me. So I'm going to have no other choice but to take that motivation and turn it into something positive. Knowing that like people are looking like, oh, well, he's not going to do anything. I'm going to prove you wrong. Period, point blank. I'm going to just prove you wrong. No one can tell me I can't do anything. So I'm going to take that. I'm going to go ahead and go to the weight room, go ahead and crush some weights, go ahead and run a little bit and do what I have to do, whatever, to get to that point. And I'm going to prove you wrong no matter what. But I would say just recently, the birth of my son has been unbelievable motivation for me. My family is the people I lean on, and it's the people that I do it for. So just recently, like I said, like last couple of years, it got real tough. And my son was born a couple of years ago, and like just looking in his face, I was like, I got to go get it. I got to figure out a way to make this happen for us and for me as well. So, I mean, that was my biggest motivation the last couple of years.
Okay. The secondary question I have, and I'll make it real quick. This is my first year as athletic director here at Maine East High School. And before I got here, I heard a lot about Maine East athletics and that they didn't have a tradition for winning. We didn't have a tradition for success athletically. And so we have a good number of our student athletes here. We have a good number of students in our building who I think are all winners, whether they believe it or not. But talk to me a little bit about when you were in high school and maybe didn't have a school that was known for athletic success or success in general. What would you tell them about those that maybe people say, oh, your school or your athletic program isn't known for success? What it's like to hear that, and then what challenges or what things drive you to maybe prove those individuals wrong, or how can they, or what advice can you give them about how you turn that around, how you become a program for winning, and how you become a school that's known for that. Talk a little bit about that for me or for them.
I feel like the number one thing you can do is block that out. Block out all those people saying, oh, you're not going to do it, you're not going to do this, because at the end of the day, it's all dependent on like, okay, I would just kind of go off of what us and the Jaguars have went through in this last couple of years. So a lot of people have been saying, oh, we're blowing the season so we can get Trevor Lawrence. We're doing this, we're doing that. But we're going out every single week and trying our hardest and balling out. We have individual people that have been balling out, and we're not getting those accolades. People are not looking at us. So I would say that during those times, we kind of just sat down, and it really happened during the bye week. We kind of just sat down and looked at ourselves and was like, what can we do all individually to make this program better? What can we do individually to make this team better at the end of the day? So it doesn't matter what the team is doing as a whole. It matters what individuals are doing in this team to make this team go at the end of the day. Because if you really think about it, if individually every single person is playing as hard as they can, is grinding as hard as they can, is doing what they're supposed to do, the team is going to go as a whole.
Amen.
So as long as you're paying attention to exactly what you're doing and focusing exactly what your performance is, the team is going to turn itself around at the end of the day.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. And I hope our students heard that and heard that message. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Smoot. Rayhan, so I'm clicking on asking you to unmute. Are you able to unmute?
Yeah.
All right.
So I wanted to ask you that what would you think is the biggest difference from high school football to college football and then to the NFL? What's the biggest difference?
I would say just the talent level. I would say the people you see every single week in high school. I know when you're watching film and stuff, if you're an athlete, just to be honest, you're gonna look at some guys like, oh yeah, I got this guy for sure. I got this guy. Like this matchup that I have, like I know like there's certain things I can do in it. It works well for me this week. But from college into the pros, you start seeing less and less of those people because at this point, like everybody's good, everybody's great, and I would say the difference is just finding those little details and those little things that like you can apply to your game to make yourself better and to beat that person in that matchup. I would say, for example, for me, I was more of a speed rusher coming from high school into college. Completely, I was just all speed. I'll run around a guy, run up and down, like do all those things. But when I got later on in my college career and I started going into the pros and stuff like that, I couldn't do that no more. Everybody got fast. Everybody figured me out. So I had no other choice but to start lifting weights and start powering people, So like just adding those little things and knowing, okay, I can't keep doing these things because everyone else is good. Like those are the things that that you have to kind of adapt to when you're going to that next level. So I would say those are those differences, like just knowing that you have to adapt to each level.
I have one more question.
Kind of makes
if you don't
sense.
mind. Yeah. How big do academics play going to the pro and college and stuff like that?
I would say they play a huge. Go ahead. What are you saying? I bet you cut out a little bit.
You can go ahead.
Okay. I would say that they play a huge role because you can't even play sports if you don't have the academics. Let's just state that from the get-go. Going from high school into college, you can't play unless you're academically eligible. And on top of that, in college, you can't do that. You can't start a year off and be great or whatever academically, and then end the year off and be bad. You've seen a whole bunch of guys not being able to play in bowl games and stuff like that. So it plays a huge role with you actually being able to even touch the field in the first place. But also in the pros too, because I remember a couple of GMs talking to me when I had some interviews. They were asking, did you graduate college? Like, did you graduate? Did you graduate? There was guys that didn't graduate that they took that into account off of if they're going to get drafted higher or lower. So that takes a big account into it as well when it comes to the pros. It's not just football and like what you can do on the field. It's also about what you can do in the classroom too.
Thank you so much, Mr. Smoot. Now we have Isaac Hernandez, Maine East Wrestling. Then we have Josie.
Okay, so I know that the process along the way up until becoming an NFL star, I know it's a long process, but I know we all have dreams to like get to something big and be great. And I know all those dreams start from the same place. So at what point did you realize that this is what you want to do? And this is like the NFL itself. What made you realize that, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life?
I would say it really didn't come until actually I started performing. Like my junior year in college, it didn't really like dawn on me that it was even a possibility. Like when I was coming out, like I was thinking, okay, I might just go to college. I'm about to ball out in college or whatever, and I'm gonna get my degree and I'm gonna go off and ride off into the sunset. I had no idea what was ahead of me, I mean, I always had it in my mind like this is a dream, this is a thing, but it didn't really become a reality until I got to that point. So I would just say not having too much of a tunnel vision and having more plans because I had a plan B. It wasn't just all football. It became football once I started performing. I was like, oh yeah, this is a realistic thing. I'm gonna go get it. There's a goal now, So I would just say just having those little small goals and stuff like that, and just putting your head down and just working for that little small goal, and then compounding those things, and eventually you'll get there.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Smoot. We have Josie and then Amanda.
Hi. My question is, did you ever get injured while playing football? And if so, how did you not only like recover, but be able to bounce back even better than you were before?
Yeah, I got injured a couple of times. I actually had surgery this last couple of years on my wrist. It's tough mentally. I would say that's the worst part about playing football is the injuries and the hurdles that you have to kind of overcome after you have those injuries, of like knowing if your body can even do it anymore. During that time that I did end up having surgery and I had to kind of sit out for a little while, it was tough watching your teammates go out there and play and stuff like that. But I just knew that as long as I take care of my body right now, that like I'll come back strong. And you just kind of got to focus on and know that you'll be able to come back, I would say. Does that kind of answer your
Yeah, it
question?
does. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Smoot. Thank you for being with us and our kiddos. Amanda, it's all yours.
Okay. So, so being part of like the African American community, like has that ever affected the way colleges or high schools or the NFL has ever looked at you? And then like a follow-up question with that was, so you guys have standards in the NFL, right? Like you guys have like standards to keep up, but as a leader or even as like a leader for the rookies, how do you keep your teammates in check from slacking, even though you guys are considered family, and how do they like not take offense to that?
I would say being an African American in the league, I have had my own set of struggles when it comes to that. I believe in the last couple of years when the whole kneeling thing was a big thing, we got called out by President Trump, which was, it was it was tough. But we kind of all had to band together, and good thing we did have such great leadership on the Jags organization with Shad, and we kind of all stood together. Some of us took a knee and some of us stood up, but we all joined together in hands, and we kind of all figured it out together. And even this year, with the whole controversy and stuff like that, we just didn't come onto the field for the anthem. But I would say it has its own set of struggles, and for everybody, it's been different, But personally, I haven't had necessarily too much struggles along the way. I haven't had anybody hold me down because I'm African American like that. Most of the guys in the NFL are African American, so it's actually been a power. All right, what was the second question again? Can you rephrase that second question? Sorry.
The second one was like, how do you keep your teammates in check, like even with the rookies, like that do come in and they look up to you? How do you keep them in check and have them not get offended or take it to heart when you're just trying to keep the standard up, even though you guys are considered like brothers, considered family in the NFL? Okay.
I would say bringing them along like their family. I actually learned this the hard way this past year. Caleb Von Chason, that's my boy now. But when he first came into the league, he was a hard head. He didn't want to come to any of the rookie events. He didn't want to do any of the rookie things that we do. What we do to the rookies, we basically tell them to go get Chick-fil-A for us every Friday, go get donuts for us. They got to wake up super early, get like 100 donuts and stuff like that. We make them do all the stuff we don't want to do. But he wasn't for that. He wasn't for doing anything. He would never come to none of our dinners or anything like that. But one thing that worked with him that I noticed when I sat down and I talked to him one-on-one, man-to-man, and tried to understand why he was doing those things, he brought me back to something that actually was like really important to him. And he talked about his father and his upbringing and how he doesn't like to get as close with people because he feels like people, aren't going to be there as much. So just reassuring him that like we're here as a team for the next 4 years under this contract, like we're brothers. And just getting him to understand that this is a family and like we're together in it all. And we're just trying to see each other succeed at the end of the day. Like that really helped him along the way, and that helped his development. So just reiterating, as rookies, whenever they come in, we just try to like put our arm around them and just bring them in as a family. At the end of the day, we're all on the same level. We're just trying to all succeed.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Thank you, Amanda, for that question. Ariane, you're up.
All right, so I had two questions. My first one was, what did you study in college? And then my second one was, why do you think it's important to give back to your community, and how do you do that?
Okay. The first one, I studied sports management. I wanted to be an AD. Kendall Griffin, I see. I did want to be an AD, so that would have been my first plan. But okay, the second question was about community. I feel like it's always good to give back, no matter what, because I'm a God-fearing man. Knowing that God gave me this talent and this ability to be able to do something, knowing that people are less fortunate, they need that help, and knowing that me having this opportunity to do that is like, it'll be a disservice if I wasn't. if I wasn't doing anything in the community. So that's the thing that drives me. My wife is a big community person too. So she really drives exactly what I'm doing in my course of what I'm doing as well. So yeah, that kind of explained it a little bit.
Yes, thank you very much. And Dawuane, we do want to be respectful of your time. I'm not sure how much more time you have. There's a lot more questions, so you let us know when you've got to go or whatever. Otherwise, Mr. Stevenson, our assistant principal, will keep firing out some questions to you. Okay?
For sure.
Mr. Smoot, we have about we had students put their questions in the chat. We have about 8 left.
Okay.
Let us know what let us know what you can do. We really appreciate your presence and your brilliance. So thank you so much for speaking to us today. Next up, we have Jack Peters.
I was wondering if you have any pregame rituals kind of to help you, like, even if you have a bad game, to kind of put you in that mindset of you're going to go out there and do your best and just kind of get all the negative energy out.
Yeah, I actually do. My pregame rituals usually is consisted of a lot throughout the week, a lot of gaming. I'm a gamer, so I like to get my mind away from sports a little bit and away from football and all the calculated thinking. I like to just kind of just be free and not really think about anything. That's been huge for me. But every single week I try to approach it like kind of like it's practice. I don't have like crazy suspicions like if I put my right sock on or my left sock on first that's going to make a difference. I just kind of go about it like any other week and just go about it like this is any other day. I know how to play football. I know what I'm doing. So just go out there, relax, go out there loose, and be able to just go out there and play. I do have a pre-game playlist that I usually play, a lot of Wiz Khalifa. I know you guys don't like Wiz Khalifa no more, but Wiz Khalifa was fire when I was younger. So I still bump him every single game and leading up into the game.
We all need a little Wiz. Lana, it's all yours.
How did you balance academics and sports?
I mean, I think I touched on this earlier, how I kind of balance those two. Knowing that I couldn't play football, I kind of had no other choice but to do academics and kind of be great at that. And luckily, when I got into college, I had a lot of help with that. With like study tables, it's basically like a study hall. You just sit for 4 or 5 hours. You mandated time. You have to do your homework. So I would say just devoting that time to it and knowing that this is the thing that I have to do to be able to get where I want to be. So that's how I balanced it.
Thank you so much. We have Adam and then Jada.
Is there someone or something that inspires you to keep you motivated throughout the season?
Yeah, I would say my son. My son is my biggest motivation. Every single time I come home, every day he's super excited to see me. He's yelling "Daddy" and everything like that. So I'm super excited every single time I see him. So he's definitely been my biggest motivation. And I would say my biggest football motivation when I was coming up was a guy that just recently retired, Julius Peppers. I really loved his style of play. Somebody that I definitely looked up to on the field and how he carried himself, and that's what I tried to kind of model my play after. And yeah, shout out to Julius Peppers.
We love Julius here in Chicago.
Oh yeah, he did a lot of good work for you guys.
Oh yes, he has. Jada.
So my question was, what personal aspects of your life do you feel like you improved in that you didn't have in high school or in college and just kind of like naturally came as you got older and in the NFL?
So what kind of aspects of my life?
Yeah.
I would say the importance of giving back definitely has become more of a thing for me now. In this past couple of years, I just partnered with Gems, and we just did like this whole sneaker thing where we just kind of brought awareness to what they're doing out there. Gems is a Jacksonville arts and music school. They're really underfunded, so what we did was just kind of allowed all the kids to kind of come together and mash together their own little designs and put it together, and then bring awareness to their school and auction off those cleats and be able to give back to that school. So I would say that aspect of my life that's became more important to me rather than, just holding on to all my riches and stuff. Just I gotta be able to give back. So that's became more important to me in this last couple of years.
That's beautiful. Thank you for your service. Thank you. Timo.
So my question was like, in college, did you see any of your friends succeed as much as you did?
Yeah, I have a lot of guys from my class that end up going to the NFL. I saw a bunch of them succeed, and they always come back to Illinois as well and kind of show love. Akeem Spence, that's still my guy. He was on the team, was on the same team a couple of years ago, but yeah, he definitely has showed and paved the way for me at Illinois. So,
thank you so much for that question, y'all. We have Vinny, and then Mr. Shakota after that.
My question is, who has helped you to make you as successful as you are right now?
Who's helped me? Okay. The person that's helped me more than anything, and the person that's kind of kept me on my track has been my dad. He's still on me now. He's still every single Sunday is like, make sure you use that spin move. Make sure you're doing this, you're doing that. I'm like, Dad, you didn't even get past high school. But yeah, he's been the biggest motivator and the person that's kind of kept me on the straight and narrow. Never ever let me forget exactly where I'm from, and he's always been that person that's been there every single game. He has not missed a game. So he's definitely been the biggest motivator for me.
I love that. The father's influence. Mr. Shakota and then Kai.
All right. Again, thank you for being here. I really appreciate this. It's been an amazing experience for me, even as a teacher and all these students. This Monday, we're honoring and remembering Dr. Martin Luther King. And I was curious if you could share what influences his legacy or philosophies have had on your life, and how you carry yourself day to day.
Dr. Martin Luther King has been influential for all African Americans. So I would say that he's been somebody that throughout these last couple struggles or whatever, in these last couple years with all the things we've been dealing with as a country, he's been somebody that look back and just know that he's been a leader. And what I try to do is try to be a leader within my community as well. So I would say that's something that he's kind of instilled in kind of every African American in America, just not being afraid to be a leader, not being afraid to speak up, not being afraid to use your voice. And that's what I feel like a lot of guys are doing. They're starting to step up and use their voice. So that's something he's taught me.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. Kai and then Christian.
I kind of have two questions. My first one was, were there any quotes or something somebody said to you that really motivated you to keep doing?
I would say not necessarily any quotes. I mean, it's a kind of a saying I live by. Just not really a saying. I'm just thinking. Just kind of like what I talked about earlier. Just kind of just being that underdog and just having that mindset. I would say not necessarily like a quote or like anything specifically that kind of pops out in my mind, but just taking that negative motivation and turning it into something positive. Just being that dog and not really taking no for an answer, I would say.
Okay, and then my second question was, what do you do to improve yourself? Do you review clips of yourself or think about what you could do better here and there?
Oh yeah, I watch myself on film more than I watch the opponent. Actually, it's kind of weird what kind of works for me leading up to Sunday. The way I watch film, I watch myself and watch practices throughout the whole week. I mean, of course, the coaches, they go over who we're going against, stuff like that. Of course, I watch that, but I don't watch my opponent until Saturday or Sunday before the game, because I feel like if I'm able to go out there and perform as hard as I can and be able to critique exactly what I do and make sure that every single move that I'm doing is perfect and to that T, then the guy can't stop me that's in front of me. His job is to stop me. I'm not supposed to stop him,
Thank you so much. We only have a few left. Christian, Irene, and then Elise.
All right.
I was just gonna ask if you have like anything in specific you like to do on your off time. Like, do you like to go shopping? Do you like to just stay home, relax, or like anything in specific?
My hobbies. I'm a real big techie. So I build computers on the side. I build phones, customize different phones and stuff like that. I also play games as well. So I'm really into a lot of tech. So that's usually my hobbies, and whenever I usually choose, I'm always buying something new when it comes to tech. So
Thank you. Irene, I'm sorry.
Hi. So my friend wanted me to ask you if like your team has like any first picks for the draft.
okay, like who we're gonna pick, or if we have it.
Like who are your favorite players or someone you have an eye out for, you know?
This is kind of tough. I would say that Jaguars, we need to. I know that we need to get somebody that's going to be a real big playmaker on the field. So I would say either we can get what's the guy, Devontae Adams? Yeah. Hi, Devontae Smith. That's who he is. Devontae Smith for Alabama, the Heisman Trophy winner. That'll be huge to get, you know, or one of the quarterbacks. You never know. I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys have heard about a million times. Trevor Lawrence. We don't really know who we're gonna get. So all the playmakers that we can get, that'll be great for the Jaguars.
So a student put Justin Fields in the chat.
Oh yeah, he's one too.
All right, Elise.
Gave you the platform to give back to the community. And my follow-up question is, do you feel like you would have given back regardless of your career choice?
I feel like I would have given back no matter what. I mean, due to the woman that I met in high school, my wife, we've been together since high school. We're high school sweethearts. She's always taught me about the importance of actually giving back. I mean, so I feel like I would have gave back no matter what. I mean, me being an AD, that would have been big right then and there. I mean, giving back to students as well. So I mean, I always had that mindset of giving back.
Thank you so much. As we close out, I know Mr. Peters is leading the conversation, as well as Mr. Griffin and Mr. Bender. I saw, you know, just my brother, Mr. Bender, getting emotional as our students are speaking, as you're explaining. So, Mr. Bender, if you have anything to say to Mr. Smoot, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much. You know, Mr. Smoot, I want to thank you for taking the time to meet with our students. We're all going through crazy times right now alongside of you. And, you know, just to have somebody, you know, that's so inspirational and, you know, so understanding and, you know, sharing how you made it to the big stage. And a lot of our athletes can look and, you know, see parallels to your story. And it's really inspiring to hear. You know, I can speak for Mr. Griffin when I say, if you're ever in the Chicagoland area or back home by Urbana, if you make it up towards O'Hare, we'd sure love to have you in person at Maine East. If we can beat this pandemic, can we get them online on the field or on the court pass or a skybox?
You better believe it.
That's right. Yeah.
I would say this. I was certainly hoping that, you know, if you have not chosen a home high school here in the Chicagoland area, we would certainly love for you to adopt Maine East and become an honorary Blue Demon here. And anytime that you're in the Chicagoland area or would like to have a home, I certainly would love to invite you here for a game or some popcorn, a hot dog, whatever. I just think it's important that our kids see, you know, real people that can make it. You know, you're not yet, hopefully not a household name yet, but we certainly hope that, you know, we would love to adopt you here and invite you back here and we put you in some swag and get you in some nice gear. I do know that the Jaguars wear Nike, so that's who I rock with and who we roll with here. And certainly we would love to do that to you, but that's certainly out to you and up to you. And we'd love that. We'd love to, you know, extend that invitation to you whenever you're in the Chicagoland area.
Well, thank you guys for the kind words. And I got a feeling I might look good in blue, you know?
Mr. Peters, do you like to close us out?
Sure. I would just like to say thank you again to all the students for your guys' great questions. Also to you, Mr. Smoot. I think it's a great opportunity for our students to hear from someone who is a model citizen in their community, and hopefully that, like, our goal with our PBIS program and stuff like here at Maine East is to help these students recognize the importance of giving back to the community and what it takes to become a leader in their communities and things like that. So I would echo the sentiments of Mr. Griffin and Mr. Benner and stuff. Anytime you're in the area, please reach out. David has my cell phone and Mr. Bender's cell phone, and we would love to have you in. So thank you very much for giving us your time.
The last thing I want to say is we have a raffle. We have some Jacksonville Jaguars stuff to raffle off.
Oh, yeah.
And we just going to call the names real quick, and we'll have this available for you at the security desk. So anytime you come in with your name on it, and also, Mr. Smoot, if you would be willing, I'm going to send you a couple things if you wouldn't mind signing for our students.
Oh yeah, no problem. Got you.
Awesome. That's so cool. So thank you.
Mr. Bender, before you call names, Mr. Smoot, if you could please put your IG handle in the chat. You know, we want to make sure we're following you on social media.
Oh yeah.
Mr. Bender.
And your YouTube channel. I know you got one of those. And then if you tell us what size you are, we'll send you some Maine East gear.
Oh yeah, 3X.
Share some of mine.
Hey, we got some stuff. I will make sure we get some stuff sent out to you, definitely. No doubt. 3X, we got you.
Okay. So here we go. We are ready for raffle pick number 1 for a Jaguars drawstring bag with a wonderful autograph about to be on it. Rehan Kaja, you are the winner. Way to go, Rehan. Mr. Stevenson, you want to throw that in the chat just so we don't forget these names that I'm trying?
You got it. All right, now.
Our next one is Kai. Kai Lawrence, you are the winner of a drawstring bag. Our next one is Kevin on here. Kevin Wingate. I didn't see Kevin. Is Kevin on here today?
Yes.
All right, Kevin. There you are. Hey, buddy. Kevin, you won a winter Jaguars hat coming your way. Congratulations. And our final winner today. And we folded these really good. There we go. Come on. The final winner of today, Lucas. Is Lucas on here?
Lucas actually had to leave. He had work.
Okay.
He was, though.
Good for Lucas. Again, Mr. Smoot, I really, really appreciate it. We can't thank you enough. Happy, healthy New Year to you. Good luck to the Jags, and we will get some stuff out to you. Thank you again, sir.
No problem. Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you. Everybody can unmute and say bye. Say thank you. Everybody can unmute. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wonderful.